Today, we will talk about the most horror Android game that you should play right now. The horror game Granny is available on mobile devices and has seen a tremendous amount of success on the Android platform. Granny, which was released in 2017 and was developed by Denis Vukanovic, has been able to attract players with its spine-chilling atmosphere, intense action, and well-constructed features. Granny has carved out a specific area for itself in the overall scene of mobile gaming by being one of the most notable horror games available for Android. Although it seems straightforward, the notion of Granny is unnerving. Before we dive deep into it, hit the subscribe button and give a thumbs up to this video. Let's get started. In this game, players find themselves ensnared in a dark and gloomy house where they are confronted by the menacing presence of Granny, a vengeful elderly woman who goes about her business with a malicious aim. Even more clear is the objective, which is to stay alive for a period of 5 days while exploring the house, figuring out puzzles, and evading Granny's grasp. The marriage of aspects of survival horror with puzzle-solving mechanisms results in an experience that is engaging and keeps players on the edge of their seats throughout the entirety of their adventure. Granny's visual design is an essential component in the process of creating a terrifying atmosphere throughout the film. A sense of dread and claustrophobia is effectively conveyed through the images, despite the fact that they are not cutting edge. The rooms are darkly lit, the floorboards groan, and the shadows are sinister, all of which contribute to an atmosphere that is both frightening and immersive. The attention to detail in the surroundings contributes to the entire horror experience, with creepy paintings, strewn objects, and foreboding decor adding to the air of discomfort that is present. It is also important to note that Granny's sound design is striking. A sense of impending peril is instilled in the player by the background music, which is not overpowering but yet elicits a tingling sensation in the spine. Players are kept continually aware of their surroundings thanks to the creaks, footsteps, and other ambient sounds that serve to heighten the tension in the game. An uncomfortable oral experience that complements the visual features is created by Granny's infrequent murmurs and chuckles, which further contribute to the psychological terror that is there. The gameplay mechanics of Granny are one of the game's most notable strengths. These techniques strive to achieve a careful balance between being challenging and being accessible. Players are able to roam the house, interact with items, and carry out a variety of operations with ease thanks to the controls, which are easy to understand and utilize. The controls are straightforward, which guarantees that the player's attention is not diverted away from the unfolding horror, but rather to the experience of navigating a complicated user interface. Exploration, puzzle solving, and evasion are the three primary components that make up the fundamental gameplay loop. In order to successfully piece together the mystery of their incarceration, players have to search the house for various things and clues. Every day has its own set of problems and puzzles, which must be solved using a combination of wit and strategy in order to be successful. As the players make their way through the home, the anxiety becomes more intense since they are aware that Granny could be hiding around any corner. The artificial intelligence of Granny is a prominent feature that makes a substantial contribution to the game's intensity. The movements of Granny are unpredictable, and the fact that she can hear the activities of the players adds an additional element of difficulty to the game. There is a genuine sense of panic and urgency that is created by the continual prospect of getting caught, which encourages players to think on their feet and make decisions in a split second more often than not. The flexibility of the artificial intelligence to the actions of the player guarantees that each and every playtime will continue to be a one-of-a-kind and nerve-wracking experience. Another component of the game that deserves praise is its level design, which features a mansion that is a labyrinth and gradually discloses its internal mysteries. As players access new regions and uncover the mysteries of the home, they will feel as though they are making progress through the game because of the interconnected rooms, hidden tunnels, and closed doors. This sensation of confinement and isolation, which enhances the horror components, is provided by the level design, which matches the entire atmosphere. There are also a number of dangers and obstacles that are introduced by Granny, which helps to keep the gaming interesting. It is imperative that players remain attentive at all times as they may meet unexpected encounters or lethal traps. The presence of several difficulty levels increases the replay value of the game by enabling players of all skill levels, from casual to hardcore, to adapt their experience to their own personal preferences. The versatility of Granny is one of the factors that adds to her great appeal, since she is able to appeal to a wide variety of horror enthusiasts. It is possible that the popularity of the game might be ascribed to its capacity to appeal to fundamental concerns and to provide a visceral horror experience by means of a mobile platform. There is a sense of fragility and powerlessness that Granny is able to successfully create, which are two essential components that define good horror. A genuine sense of dread is evoked by the limited resources, unexpected artificial intelligence, and unrelenting pursuit by Granny, which is not something that is typically accomplished in mobile games. The availability of Granny on various social media platforms and websites that allow users to share videos has also contributed to the success of the show. A multitude of response videos and playthroughs have been created as a result of the game's difficult nature and jump scare moments, which has further contributed to the game's increase in popularity. Players are discussing methods, suggestions, and their own scary experiences within the game as a result of the viral nature of Granny's gaming videos, which has contributed to the establishment of a committed community. Even though it has received a lot of praise, Granny is not without its detractors. Certain players have the impression that the level of difficulty is unforgiving, which can result in feelings of frustration and discouragement. Although the use of jump scares is effective, it is possible that their power will diminish after multiple viewings of the game. In addition, the absence of a detailed storyline may cause some players to develop a desire for additional context and background information regarding the creepy occurrences that occur within the game. Developer is responsible for programming both Granny 2 and Granny 3, which are both horror mobile games. These video games have been increasingly popular due to the dramatic and frightening gameplay they provide. They provide players with an exciting experience that takes place within a survival horror atmosphere. A spooky house serves as the setting for the previous game Granny 2, which places players in a predicament where they are stuck inside. The primary objective is to achieve freedom from Granny's grasp within a period of 5 days, all the while evading her watchful gaze and surviving the various traps that she designs. The success of the game can be attributed to the ambient suspense, jump scares, and strategic gameplay that it features. In order to outwit Granny and maneuver their way to freedom, players need to solve riddles, travel hidden tunnels, and remain hidden throughout the game. The horror was taken to a whole new level in Granny 3, which builds on the popularity of Granny 2. An extended area is introduced in the game, which includes the addition of a neighbor's house to the mix. As a result of the increased influence of Granny's malevolent presence, players now need to battle with both Granny and her neighbor, who is also a villain. Because of the increasing difficulty of the riddles, it is necessary to engage in more strategic thinking in order to avoid the dual threat. Additionally, Granny 3 improves both the graphics and the general design, which results in a more intense and immersive horror experience. In both games, the premise is very similar. In order to live, players need to use their wits to outwit Granny and her neighbor, who are relentlessly pursuing them. In order to do this, they must solve riddles and avoid being discovered. The ominous atmosphere, in conjunction with the unpredictability of the jump scares, prevents players from losing their composure throughout their attempts to flee. It is possible that the popularity of Granny 2 and Granny 3 can be due to the fact that they are able to provide a terrifying experience on different mobile devices. Players experience a heart-pounding adventure as a result of the games, which play on their innate dread of being pursued by an adversary. The strategic features, together with the atmospheric graphics and sound design, are what set these games apart from others in the horror gaming genre. That's it for today. Let us know what you think about this horror game. Feel free to ask your queries in the comments. Goodbye.